beings, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you at this Distant Reiki Healing Ceremony. Please sit back, relax on this blessed full moon day. I'm going to play a few tunes for us while we wait for others to join. And so please do just relax, create sacred space for yourself, get yourself comfortable, whatever that means to you. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Please relax, sit back, find yourselves a comfortable spot. I'm going to be playing a little bit of flute for you while we wait for others to join, and we will get started in a few moments with the Distant Reiki Healing Ceremony on this blessed full moon. I'm so excited to have you join me on this beautiful spring morning. We have rain here in the eastern United States, and I love it. I am actually a big fan of rain. And so this is just a beautiful morning here. So please prepare yourself in whatever way feels authentic and comfortable for you. Get yourself some comfortable clothes, some blankets, lay down, sit down, close your eyes, whatever it is that's going to make you feel comfortable. Up to you. So please, you are invited to do whatever feels right for you at this time. Thank you so much for joining, and I will be back in a couple of minutes and beginning the ceremony in a few moments while we wait for others to join. Please, in the meantime, do feel free to write in the comments, say a hello, say where you're from, whatever you might like. That is all fine and well, and no requirements. So if you prefer to remain anonymous, that is absolutely okay too. Thank you. Greetings, welcome, and thank you so much for joining this Distant Reiki Healing Ceremony on the full moon. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, and my mission is to support and encourage your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and of course, always encouragement. That is my life purpose. I identify first and foremost as an encourager, and so it's my mission to encourage you through card reading and Reiki and coaching. So thank you so much for joining me on this blessed full moon day for another Distant Reiki Healing Ceremony. It is my honor and pleasure. You know, this morning I was out for a walk. I go out every morning for a walk. And this morning I was out for a walk before the rain started. And I was just struck thinking about today's ceremony and how incredible it is to think that we are coming together from all across the world at this same moment right now, wherever you may be, and we are joining together for this ceremony. And I thought, what an incredible miracle. The fact that all of us are alive at the same moment on this earth. You know, we could have been born at any time. We could have been born in any place, in any era, and we are where we are right now. And to me, that is incredible. It really reminds me of the seeds and the way that they sprout in the spring. You know, seeds do not choose where they end up. Of course, there's a whole saying about this. You know, the sayings grow where you're planted, and but the truth is that seeds do not choose how they get to where they are. Sometimes they're carried on the wind. Sometimes they're carried by birds or other animals. Sometimes they're pooped out, but the seed just does what it can do wherever it lands. And so it's a wonderful thing that we have all landed at this moment in time so that we can share in this ceremony together. It is my true honor to be bringing you Reiki today and conducting this ceremony for you. So thank you so much. So this is how it works for those who maybe are new and have not participated in one of these ceremonies before. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And for those who have and are returning, welcome back. I am so grateful that you have returned. I like to conduct these ceremonies on the new and full moons, particularly on the full moon, which is just, as we know, an amazing time. And I want to give praise and thanks to the moon and all of the moon's blessings. So thank you, moon. So the way that the ceremony will work is that I will do an invocation. And during that invocation, I am going to call in my spirit guides. You are welcome to call in your own spirit guides at the same time. I'm going to be calling in and thanking and honoring the four directions. And I'm also going to be honoring the native inhabitants of the land where I am, and that is the Susquehannock people. And so while I do that, you are welcome to call in your spirit guides. You are welcome to call in your angels. You are welcome to set sacred space in whatever way feels natural and right for you. So I am going to be doing that by doing some drumming and doing some flute playing to call in those spirits and set that sacred space. I'm also during that time going to invite you to set your intention for this ceremony. Now, I set the intention for the ceremony for your intentions, and I set the intention for love and light to be sent to you. But I encourage you during that time to set the intention for what you might like to bring into your life right now, or what you might like to release and let go of. And so that is a wonderful time while I am drumming, playing the flute, and conducting the invocation for you to set your intention for this ceremony. I am also going to then be sending you Reiki. So following the invocation, you will hear a bell. And when you hear that bell, I will begin the sending of the Reiki to you. Now, I'm going to going to direct the Reiki to your chakras. I always send Reiki to your chakras, but if you have special intentions, then the Reiki will go there as well. So whether they are there's a physical part of your body where you might like the Reiki to go, or you would like the Reiki to go to a relationship, or maybe an emotional challenge that you are having, please do set that intention during the invocation, because the Reiki won't just go to your chakras, it will go wherever you feel that you would like it to go, and frankly, wherever it is most needed. And if there is a place where you don't want the Reiki to go, don't worry, it will not. So then I will be ringing the bell again. And I'll come back with a little bit of music to bring us back, some more drumming, some more flute playing, to bring us back from our meditative state of the Reiki. During the time when I'm sending Reiki, you may feel a variety of sensations, or you may feel nothing. And all of that is normal when it comes to Reiki. So, anything that you might feel is going to be part of the process. Um, so I'll then come back, and I will provide any messages that I've received. When I send Distant Reiki, I do receive messages. I see images, and so I will be relaying those to you. When I receive them, I won't know who they're for. So it's not like I'm going to say, okay, you have this message. I'm not going to know that. Sometimes the messages and images are for me too, but I give them up freely for you as a gift, and you can do whatever you wish with them. They may resonate with you, they may not be for you, they may be for someone else, they may be for all of us. I never know. Um, and then I will pull some cards for us. Again, those messages, those cards, I have no idea who they might be or what those cards might be. Maybe for all of us, maybe for none of us. And for someone who watches this later, I don't know that either. So that is the ceremony. I do invite you to find a space right now that is quiet and comfortable for you to wear your comfortable clothes, your comfy blanket, whatever you wish. Light some incense, light a candle. I've got some candles here going. I have daffodils that I plucked this morning before the rain from my garden. So please do whatever's going to feel natural for you. Now, while I am conducting the invocation and sending the Reiki, I am going to cover over the camera, and that is simply to honor the Reiki and to honor the sacred space. Now, you're going to hear me. I breathe a lot when I send Reiki. So don't be alarmed if you hear me breathing heavily. I'm not having a heart attack. I'm sending Reiki. And you will also hear music that I like to play when I send Reiki. So I will be covered over at that time, but trust, I am still here. Now, if you experience technical difficulties, don't sweat, don't fret. I'll still be here. Just come back to the event. If I'm experiencing technical difficulties, don't worry, the Reiki will still get through. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I honor and thank you. Blessings to you. And it is such an honor to be here with you on you. So, deep cleansing breaths. I'm a big breather. I'm a big believer in breathing. And so, anytime that I want to change my mindset or set sacred space, I like to take 3 deep cleansing breaths. And breathing is the quickest way to shift your energy and to shift your mindset. So I invite you to join me in 3 deep cleansing breaths. sacred space for us and invite you to participate in that in whatever way feels comfortable for you, while setting your intention for this distant Reiki healing ceremony. Again, I am going to call in my spirit guides, honor the 4 directions, and I invite you to do whatever feels right and natural to you at this time. Thank you. Spirits of the North, spirits of the North, we greet you, we honor you, we thank you. Spirits of the East, spirits of the East, we greet you, we honor you, we thank you. Spirits of the South, spirits of the South, we greet you, we honor you, we thank you. Spirits of the West, spirits of the West, we greet you, we honor you, we thank you. Spirit guides, angels, archangels, beings of light, we greet you, we honor you, we thank you. Greetings and welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for the great honor of sending you Reiki. I saw some images that I would like to pass along to you. So, right away, immediately at the crown chakra, I saw a needle. And the very clear message with this needle, it had it was a needle with an eye in the center where you put the thread through. And immediately, the message that I picked up from this needle was that there is someone out there, whether watching now or later, or gosh, maybe even myself. Remember, these messages could be for all of us, none of us, one of us. And the message very clearly was that you feel like right now in your experience in your life, like you are trying to thread a needle. And for any of you who have ever sewed before and have tried to thread a needle, I speak from experience. I actually sew. I will sew holes in my clothes all the time. My mom taught me to sew when I was very young. While she was doing laundry and I was bothering her, she would hand me my dad's socks and say, "Here, sew the holes in these socks." And so she taught me how to sew so that I could sew the holes in my dad's socks while she was doing laundry and I wouldn't be a bother to her. Very smart woman, my mother is. But for any of you who have sewed before, you know that it can be a real challenge to thread that thread through the needle. And I don't know about you, but it takes me quite a few tries to get it through. And so you are feeling right now in your life as though you are trying to thread a needle. You are trying to take that little piece of string and stick it into that little hole, and it is just not very easy. And so I want to encourage you to keep trying to thread that needle. That yes, it does take time, and yes, it is a challenge, but that yes, you will eventually be able to thread that needle. So don't give up on the thread, don't give up on the needle. But right now you are feeling like, whew, life is like threading a little needle. At the third eye, I saw grass. And the message of this grass, by the way, it was very lush, beautiful grass. But the message that the grass had was that, grass is so mundane. It's so plain. It's, depending upon where you live, everywhere, all of the time. I mean, where I live, there's grass everywhere, all of the time. Even grass where you don't want it, right? But the message here was that we are being encouraged to pay attention to those mundane things, those things that maybe we take for granted, those things that we don't really notice. Grass is so everywhere that we don't really notice or pay much attention to it, but it really is rather remarkable. It's a living, breathing plant that we're all stepping on, again, depending upon where you live, we're all stepping on all of the time and think nothing of it. And the grass just keeps growing. The grass takes our footsteps, and it takes them in stride. Ha ha. But the grass is something that is just so regular and plain. And so we are being called at this time to give thanks and gratitude and praise for those seemingly plain things, because they too are miraculous. They too are a blessing. They too have their purpose, which actually leads me to the next image that I saw. As I moved from the third eye to the throat chakra, I saw a desert. And I received the very clear message that every grain has its purpose. So, we look at this vast desert and we just see it as one big thing, this big desert full of sand. And we don't necessarily stop to think that one desert is full of individual grains of sand. Now, if you have ever looked through sand in a microscope or looked at sand very closely, to pick up sand and look at it very closely, it is not, the boring brown stuff that it looks like immediately. When you look at sand very closely, it's actually multiple kinds of colors. It is beautiful. It is bits of shell and bits of just all kinds of things. So the message that I received at the desert was that every grain has its purpose, and so every little piece of that bigger picture that is the desert is an important part of that desert. So it again brings me back to that idea of the grass with, the things that seem mundane and that things that seem common are actually really much more important than we might realize. I had another image later that aligns with that. I'll get to that in a moment. At the heart chakra, I saw a koala. And so I don't know if for someone the koala is an animal that really resonates with you, but there was a koala. And what I picked up from the koala was nurturing. I had the impression that we are being encouraged to nurture ourselves at this time, including maybe even that inner child, but we need comforting right now. That's the message that I got from the koala, was that right now we all need nurturing and we all need comforting. I really want to encourage you to nurture and comfort others at this time, and to recognize that perhaps you are in need of nurturing and comforting right now. And it's okay to grab that stuffed animal right now. Grab that stuffed animal, hold that stuffed animal, love your pets if they are a comfort to you, like a stuffed animal. Whatever brings you comfort. I picked up from the koala that we are being encouraged right now to be nurturing and seek nurturing and comfort. So we need nurturing and comfort right now. Thank you, koala. Um, let's see here. At the sacral chakra, I saw no, at the solar plexus, I saw a beam of golden light shooting right out, and it was really very powerful. And then I saw an eagle, and on the eagle's feathers uh, was the message that even the lice is important. So what I picked up, there was an eagle, and it brought me right down to the very lice in the feathers of the eagle. And the message was that the lice too is important, and the lice too has its purpose. And so here again is that idea of the very small things that we don't notice or that we take for granted. They're just all around us all of the time, that we don't pay much attention to. We are being encouraged right now to give thanks and praise for those things, to recognize them, to honor them, and to thank them, because each blade of grass, each grain of sand, each lice on the wings of the eagle are important too, and just as important. They too have their place in the grand web of life. So, thank you, lice. I never thought I would say that, but there you have it. Thank you, lice. At the sacral chakra, I saw deep purple, very deep, dark, vibrant purple. It was gorgeous. Now, of course, the sacral chakra's color is orange, but so the fact that I saw purple is nothing to be alarmed or afraid of. The impression that I had was that this is a spiritual center for one of us, so, or all of us, multiple of us, that the this area, the sacral chakra area, is a very it's our spiritual powerhouse area. And so I encourage you that if you really resonate with that area of your body, to sit in that power, to claim that power, to know that that is a powerful area for you, a spiritual area for you. So this purple vibrant color here signifies that this is a very spiritual area for one of us, some of us, who knows. But that was the message there. Then at the root chakra, I saw a hammer, which really surprised me. And I was like, what is this hammer all about? And I received two messages from the hammer. The first message was that you don't need to use a hammer for everything. So perhaps sometimes you might be a little blunt. You might use a little bit of blunt force when it's not necessary. So watch out using the hammer when you don't need to use a hammer. The next message that I picked up from the hammer was just the idea of building a strong foundation. You know, it's important for us to build a strong foundation and to make sure that we are using the hammer to build that strong foundation for ourselves, that strong root chakra, that strong spiritual foundation. Finally, I asked before I ended the Reiki, I asked my guides, is there a message? What message is there? I received the strangest message, but I passed them along because it may resonate with you. The message that I received was, tell me to use the toaster. I don't even know. Okay. So someone is being called to use the toaster. And I was like, what is this about, the toaster? And it came right back to that idea of nurturing. You know, toast sometimes is a very nurturing kind of food. I actually know that it was for me in my youth. My grandfather would make me toast on Sunday mornings. After Mass, we would go over to his house. Actually, right about now at this time, we would be having toast with my grandfather, and he was a wonderful bread butterer. He was very good at buttering toast. And that was a very nurturing experience for me. And so that, you know, when I heard about the toast, use the toaster, and then I picked up on this idea of its nurturing, it was only this moment when I'm telling you this that I'm thinking, oh yeah, actually toast was nurturing for me as a child. I'm not a big toast eater. I don't eat a lot of bread personally, although I will say that every Sunday morning I make myself pancakes or some French toast or something like that. This morning I had squash pancakes. So I love to do that on Sunday mornings. But there you have it. There is a message from Spirit. Use the toaster. Maybe make some toast. I don't know. Or maybe just the idea again is of nurturing yourself. Very important at this time. Whew, wonderful. Thank you so much. So I'm going to pull some cards. And you know, while I was sending Reiki, I received the guidance to pull a card from a deck that I have never pulled from before. I have multiple decks. And one of those decks that I have is the Water Crystal Oracle from Dr. Emoto. And I never use this deck for others simply because it doesn't always resonate with me to use it for other people. I do draw a card for myself on the full moon. So this evening when I pull my cards for myself on the full moon, I'll be pulling one of these for myself for the next month. But I never pull these for others. And the reason is because sometimes you know, there are some different kinds of cards here. There's quite a mix-up of cards. You know, one of the cards is Stonehenge, and then there's happiness, and then there's coral reefs, and then there's thank you. So it's a little bit of a mix-up with this. Not a mix-up, a mash-up. Multiple messages from this deck. And it doesn't always resonate with me to pull it for others, but I received the message to pull a card from this deck. So I am going to do that for the first time ever, and we'll see what the water crystals have to say for us. Here it is. Oh my God, I don't believe it. This is exactly the card that in my head when I pictured it. This is incredible. I had the message to pull this deck, and I had the thought of coral reef. and it is the coral reef. So for someone, and I actually saw a coral reef too while I was sending Reiki. As soon as I thought of this deck, I immediately thought of this card, and I immediately pictured a coral reef. And so for you, perhaps coral reefs resonate for you. But what I'm picking up from this card, right as I was holding it and showing you coral reef, is that here again is this a coral reef is like grass. You know, it's this long kind of living thing that we don't always recognize as this amazing, vibrant, living thing. Now, of course, as we know, the coral reefs are being challenged right now. They are struggling and they need humans to work to save them because we are unfortunately doing things to them that is unkind, just like the rest of the world with global warming and climate change. But anyway, the coral reef is something that is very much like grass in a sense. You know, it's something that stretches before us maybe for miles and miles, and we don't really even think about it, but it is no less important than anything else. So thank you, coral reef, for this message. Blessings to you, coral reef, and may we all work together to make positive changes for the coral reef and the rest of the earth. So wow, pretty incredible. Thank you, angels. Thank you, spirit guides. um let me pull a tarot card for you. By the way, if anyone is commenting, I am for whatever reason not seeing your comments, so my great apologies if anyone is commenting, and if not, that's okay too. You are not required to comment, but if you are commenting, I'm sorry, I can't see it. So I'm going to pull a tarot card and let's see what messages we might have from the tarot. Very much a card of necessarily powerful as in like, oh no, I'm overwhelmed by my emotions, but rather in terms of just feeling powerful in our emotions. And what I am getting from this card actually is that this is a time of recognizing your power, but also a time of resting in that power. You can see that there is a dragon here. I use the Celtic Dragon Tarot. This deck really resonates with me. A king who is standing by his throne, his sword on his hip, and he is feeling pretty confident, pretty satisfied, and I from after along with self, so feeling powerful within your emotional powerful at this time and restful as well. Let's pull and feel their loving blessings. So